Hello warriors and welcome to early access. This is KHATUN and she is one of the most interesting heroes that I have seen today. Before we get too deep into anything, I need to first disclose and thank Ubisoft for providing us with early access so that I can provide this content to you all. KHATUN will launch live January 23rd in For Honor. Pause the video, look at this. Otherwise, we will be going straight into some of the basics and then punishes and then out of stamina punishes. She has so many options as an assassin. They have a deflect. They have a full deflect, we're going to be calling that. And so many soft feints. I mean, there's more soft feints you can shake a stick at. It is absolutely incredible. So first we're going to have our bot. And full disclosure, there's so much to go over. I'm sure I'll miss something. I may even get some of the data wrong. And as it is early access, some of the damage numbers may change either at launch or in the near future. Otherwise, this is kind of what you're looking at. So opener lights are all 12 damage, no matter what direction. Heavy openers are all 24, no matter what direction. You do have a dodge light, both sides, 15 damage. The dodge forward is not a light, it is a dodge forward heavy attack, which is 22 damage. She does have a running attack. It is 12 and 8. It does also chain into what that is, her full deflect, aka the fear and fury stance. That also allows her to mix up her opponent and do, you can soft feint into that from almost anything. So I can do it from opener heavies. I can do it from, a chain light or a chain heavy. So I can backstep, go into that, and either I can actually dodge cancel out of it. And there's a lot of things that you can do from the Fear and Fury stance. You can dodge cancel out of it, so you can dodge cancel into a side dodge attack. You can dodge cancel into a dodge forward heavy attack, you should be able to do this. There we go. You have to make sure that you don't you don't buffer both the dodge and the heavy at the same time, or the game may register the pin as the input like that. So you can do that. And then off of that, you can also go into a side light. You can't do a top light. It'll just chain. You do have 22 damage off of the dodge forward heavy, 9 on your side light soft feints, and that's the same from your heavy from neutral. You have to make sure that you are doing a different attack direction when you soft feint. You can also soft feint to heavy. You can soft feint to light. Also, I'm doing a bad job of pressing other buttons, but yeah, you have to do a different direction. So if your guard is left, it has to be top or right. If your guard is right, top, left. If your guard is top, it's left or right. Guard breaks are, again, a lot of options. You can take the light for 12, zone for 24, which is going to cost you about the most stamina, or you can take your pin and you can get 25, an extra bit of damage. The cool thing about that is that pin, if there's a wall nearby, you can throw them back. You take the 5 from your pin, you get the 24 damage off of your heavy from the wall splat. Off of GB, because you get the zone, if there's a wall splat nearby, you can get, you can get a heavy. So you're basically trading the amount of stamina that you're basically trading. Do you want to give them stam damage? Are they just about out of stamina? Do you want to put them out of stamina? Do you want to add some stamina pressure? That's pretty much the only main reason that you might want to, try and do for a wall splat. Also, you can chain off of those wall splat heavies too. So you can go into your fear. You can feint that out. So let's talk about Fear and Fury for a moment. Exactly what can you do? Okay, so you can soft feint into it. If you soft feint into it, you have a lot of options. You can go for your pin. You can hard feint that, and then you can go for a guard break or whatever else you want to do. You cannot soft feint it into guard break. It doesn't work that way. You're just gonna end your move going into a guard break. It's not the glamorous thing that you may think it might be. But then you can side dodge. You can do the 4 dodge heavy. We showed that. So also what you can do off of that. So if you do your dodge forward heavy, you can then soft feint into a bash. So you can soft feint into bash from either dodge forward heavy and then you can get your light, and then you can go to chain, or you can do that from neutral. So heavy, soft, feint to bash. So by hitting the guard break, again, you get your light finisher. You also, you do throw finishers. So you can throw a heavy finisher. It is not guaranteed to land. You do have that as an option. You can, if you want to, you can then, if you really want to mess with somebody, I guess you can just do this. That is an option if you just want to mess with someone. But she does not have any stam pause, no stamina damage, so it's just to be annoying. Get that rage quit. Okay. So, out of stamina punishes. First, we need to tell the bot to parry. I don't think I've said this yet. For ganking, this is not a good option. Don't try to gank a bot. If you're wanting to get a feel for something, I suppose you can, but if you want to test it out to make sure that it works, get a person to actually test it with you. Bots don't always work properly when it comes to, two players doing a gank. If it's a one-on-one scenario, it's usually a good option. It's one of the best options, in my opinion, because if there's only one frame that a parry window that you have on Wake Up, for example, they're gonna try their best. They're gonna just land. They're going to land a parry. It doesn't matter how tight that window is, although sometimes they might not be able to do that on, like, the first time they're going to parry. It's kind of wonky that way every once in a while, but... Okay. Let's talk what your options are on guard break throw. So, guard break throw down, light heavy, then you can go into your chain pressure. Now, here's where it gets interesting. There's like there's like several different punishes you can do here. That's the easiest one in case you just want to remember if that's easy. That's the least amount of stamina that you can do. Okay, we throw them. There you go. You have the other alternative where you cannot get a zone. You cannot get a heavy. It doesn't work. It will get parried. Doesn't matter what direction it is. Sorry, buffering too many things. Heavy. Just going to get parried. It's going to get shut down. You cannot get that. Alternatively, if you want to do something funny. So, this punish, you buffer all inputs. And it is guaranteed. I've done this off of a side throw too, but I mean, I don't see any reason why you'd want to. But it does work. Back throw I don't believe actually works. Maybe. Huh. I don't think that's consistent. But at least, forward throw is good. Side throw should be okay. Alternatively, if their backs to a wall, just like the GB punish, you get this. Up against the wall, you pin, they throw, then you get the heavy, and then you can go into your chain pressure at that point, although I didn't do it. Now, if you need to do it this way, you actually have to time it within the 100 millisecond window of where they're coming from Wake Up to where they can't parry. So it's a very, that's a tight window. It's something that I've been practicing with this enough. I can do it somewhat decently, but I'm not going to be able to do it consistently, especially if there's any latency involved. It's just not going to happen. It's kind of risky. So that is 46 damage if you land it that way, if there's a wall present and you have chain pressure. I think I've covered everything in terms of, like, punishes and whatnot. We're doing pretty good on time. I've not done out of stamina punishes for her. You get a light if you get a guard break. You're not going to get a heavy. I have not tested the wall splat. It may be possible with the right distance. That's not going to be far enough. Come here. This isn't going to be enough. No, it will. Yes, there we go. So you can get it off of a wall splat. I don't know that you're going to... This isn't going to work, though, is it? Really? Interesting. Just don't change your guard. Very good. Okay, well, there you go. I wasn't thinking... thought you needed some distance for it, but turns out I was wrong. Bot's still set to parry. I think we're good to go there. So yeah, if I'm not going to go over like out of stamina versus out of stamina throws, we're going to go back to the main menu and I will show you her feats. And for those of you who are really interested in her perks, we'll show perks. Feats. Unique feats are actually really good. Relentless. Soft feints do not cost stamina. That is, her whole kit is based around soft feint. She is listed as a soft feint specialist, as her character description. She is the queen of soft feints. Brutal is the second set. For tier 2, after hitting with any Bloody Wrath follow-ups, your damage is increased for a short time. The percentage on this, I can't recall. I could be wrong. I believe it's like 10 or 20. Intimidating for your tier 3. When you kill a hero, gain an aura, which increases damage dealt to nearby enemies for a short time. So that lowers the defense of enemies in the area. And I believe the numbers on this is either 20 or 25. So that's pretty decent. And the aura is actually quite big. I think it's slightly, just by memory, I think it's as big or slightly bigger than Fear itself. Because Fear itself is not super huge. This is a pretty good sized aura when you kill the hero. So you have that area around it. You got the big purple. Ultimate Punish is the tier 4. This is the only attacking feat that she has out of her unique kit. This has a recast of, I didn't time it, but it's maybe what? I think it's less than 60 seconds. It's like maybe 40, 45 seconds maybe. Perform a quick attack that leads to Bloody Wrath follow-up. It's basically your pin. It is your pin attack. It does, I believe it's 5 damage. And then, of course, you can do your Bloody Wrath follow-up to get, the extra 10 and 10, so 25. Or you can delay that to, maybe give yourself a chance to have your teammate rotate in, or, maybe you can gank with them, or you can use this as a setup for a gank. So there are options with her kit, and that means she would be potentially could be a good ganker, because this is, very quickly resets. You could use this in maybe multiple ganks with multiple people across the map. Moving on to alternative feats. Tier 1, Rush, increase your movement speed. That's going to be that could be useful, although I think her unique feat and Bounty Hunter are better choices. Gaining health and stamina when you kill a hero. Always, Bounty Hunter is one of the best feats in the game for tier 1. Phenomenally good, especially for a hero like this, which may be, more focused on ganks and 1v1s. And of course with all the extra stamina and whatnot. Brutal. Alternatives are Inspire, which is 20% more damage to yourself and nearby allies. Soldiers fight faster is a little known fact. It does make your soldiers run faster and attack faster, for all you breach lovers out there. Executioner's Respite, or Respite. When executing an enemy hero, gain extra amount of health based on the execution's duration. More health when you execute. Tough as Nails. I believe I could be wrong. Whatever it is, a little bit. It adds up. Tough as Nails, Punch Through, not worth either. Neither of those are worth it right now. If Punch Through gets buffed, maybe. Tough as Nails is just not good enough. Intimidating is going to be a pretty solid bet here. Alternatives for tier 4 is Aerostorm and Regenerate. Both are decent feats in their own right. However, for damage, you usually want to have a damaging feat for a tier 4, so it's really going to be dependent upon your team. I believe Aerostorm is a somewhat decent alternative, but it's not a ton of damage. It is decent for a mid clear if you're fighting in mid lane and you want to both clear the minions and do damage to the enemy team. That could be a decent alternative. And then, of course, you've got your KDA farmers that want to just run Regenerate and just walk around, regenerate their health, and not fight you for 5 minutes at a time. That's annoying, but it does work from time to time. Galestorm, Devour, Early Reaper, Endurance, Survival Instinct, Crush Them, Headhunter. Those are going to be your perks. The 3 ones to go for, pretty much Devour is your go-to. That's a guarantee. You need to have that one if you're going to run perks. Galestorm, I believe is a good alternative, or good option as well for your second one. And the third is going to be a toss-up between whether or not you want to get Endurance or Headhunter. There's probably some varying degrees of opinions on it. Perks don't matter to the competitive scene because they are disabled in competitive play, so none of this is going to matter if you're a competitive player. But if you play casually in matchmaking, Galestorm, Devour, and Endurance, or Galestorm, Devour, Headhunter is probably going to be your go-to for these perk sets. Devour being probably your most important, next to Galestorm. All right. That pretty much does it for KHATUN. She is an amazingly fun hero. We've had a lot of fun with her in early access, and just as a note, thank you for not skipping through the video, Kevin. I appreciate it. It helps the algorithm that you actually watched it all the way through. Let me know in the comments if you did. Let me know in the comments if you have thoughts about the hero, the punishes. If you have questions, I'm happy to answer whatever I possibly can. And if you did like the video, of course, give it a thumbs up, like it, and subscribe to the channel for more early access and other content as well. We will be live on the Purple Network coming up on Thursday, so showcase the hero once it does launch. And we also will have a fashion video that's separate from this one, so if you're looking for that, we've got you covered. It'll be linked somewhere in the description or on the chat section. So thank you to Ubisoft for providing early access so I can showcase this content to you all. If you're looking for frame checks and things of that nature, Freeze, I'm sure we'll tackle that, and Havoc, we'll probably have some more 1v1 content where you're fighting one-on-one with other people. But like I said, there's a lot to take in with her complete package, if you will. So that's going to do it for me. My name's Norgoz, and I'll see you next time. Thank you very much.